Hello and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is the co-author of Split Screen's Volume 6 novelette. It's David Cross.
What's going on, Mark? Excited to be here again.
Again. But now you're a published author, and your novelette, I hope I'm calling it the right word, Mother is Coming Home, is part of Split Screen Volume 6, which I'm holding in my hands. No one can see because I don't release video. I got a cool sticker. I got some fancy stuff because I pre-ordered it. They set me up good.
They do. It's from Tenebrous Press. My pen name's David Course. I've been on this podcast as David Cross. I'm sure you're going to get asked this.
For 6 years?
Yeah. But yeah, I go by David Course because there is a comedian who we've probably talked about on this podcast who's
Mr.
David
Show.
Cross. Mr. Show himself. Yeah. So he has books, and I couldn't put my book out with his name.
I mean, David
My
Course.
name.
I mean, that's David Course. It sounds more horror. David Course. Like Cross
So-
is good if you're writing about like religious horror.
Yeah. Well, corpse is archaic for corpse.
Oh, okay.
I,
Yeah,
I
see,
have a list of like 50 really bad author names. Like David Cross. No. What was it? Stephen King Jr. Like both funny ones and bad ones. Like
what about David Crossfire?
Crossfire. Oh my God, I forgot all about that. I never had that, and I really wanted it.
Yeah. Everyone used to sing Hoffmeyer. That was
That's
like my
that's
theme
pretty
song.
good, honestly.
Yeah, it's not a bad. It's not a bad. Whenever your name is just sung by people, I'll take it. But Dave, you've been working on this for years. So if you don't know, David
Yeah.
Cross, he's been recording me for years. We've done like the Underworld series. We've done Universal Monsters. We've covered so many movies in the 6 years that we've been podcasting together. And we met in grad school. In the last few years, David has been writing a lot, just trying, like from New York to Ohio, and he's just stuffed himself full of Cincinnati chili, and he's just writing. And when you were writing, man, like I know this is your story, but I'm proud of you because like you got a lot of rejection letters, you got a lot of like this is good, but we're not going to do it, and then like you just stuck at it, like you didn't quit, you didn't stop, you didn't get flustered. I'm sure it was frustrating, but you just kept at it, and now you're published, and you have more on the way. And I
I'm
couldn't be more
published.
proud of you, man. Like I think it's it's like a good testament of character that you stuck to it, and now you're published, and I'm holding your book in my hand.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, Mark. I have been trying to write something like this since I was in high school, and I have written over 1 million words of fiction. And so it took a long time to get something published. You will find that in the publishing industry, everything takes 3 or 4 times longer than you think it will. But the thing is, once something hits, it hits, and then the doors open. So I already have something coming out next year that hasn't been announced yet.
Now you're a published author.
Yeah.
And you can be like published author, David Course or David
Mhm.
Cross. David Course is David Cross is David Course, of course, published author. And it's
Of
amazing.
course, it's going to be the name of my blog.
And you got to go buy this thing. It's a really cool book. Tenebrous Press is really cool. Tell me more about it.
So I'll just give everyone context. 'Cause I feel like the term novelette, no one really knows outside of like the really niche world of literary fiction. So a novelette, think of it as a long short story. There's a word count associated with it, but ignore it. It's just a really long short story, and it's meant to be read in 1 or 2 sittings. Think of it as like being 100 pages in a normal novel, maybe 80 to 100 pages. And so I am part of the Split Screen series, which is a series. It's a series of books where the press takes 2 novelettes, puts them together, and then releases it. And my novelette is Mother's Coming Home. It is about a toxic mother and son who discover a fleshlight portal out by their barn, and then really horrible things start happening. So this is definitely a horror novel. If anyone has been paying attention to the podcast over these years, I cover horror. So I'm not sorry that you're going to have nightmares reading this, but just be warned when you pick it up.
I'm going to read this on an airplane.
Yeah, I had someone read it right before they went and had surgery, and I was like, that was a bold choice.
I can't do horror at night anymore. So I'm going to read this during daylight hours. And then
I recommend that. The big thesis on this, what I was trying to do is I kind of wanted to make disgusting fun. So it is like a really gross book in the sort of the Sam Raimi-esque-ness. Like there's no throwing up in people's mouths, but there is some gross stuff into it. And I tell everyone you're going to really love to hate these characters.
does a staple go into someone's eye?
Oh no, that's so good.
So this is a film podcast. You're on this. We both love film. Like, what films did you like? I feel like a lot of the stuff that I write, I draw inspiration from like Return of the Jedi and just monster movies. I've written some scripts and they're vampire movies and monster movies. So I haven't done anything with them, but they're here and they're scripted out and I have screenplays. But like what films played a role in like crafting this book? Did you draw from inspirations? Like what were your inspirations for this?
Yeah, so I have a lot of inspirations when I think you guys as a creative, like you draw on everything you've ever experienced and everything you've ever seen. More specifically here, I pitch this as What's Eating Gilbert Grape meets The Gate, and which is really wild. I know that. So there's a character in this who is basically dependent on her son. That's where that comes from. And then The Gate, which we're going to be talking about today, has a weird hole in it. But if we want to get like specific to what actually influenced it, because there's a difference between pitching it and trying to get a publisher to pick it up and what I was thinking about when I was writing it, Misery is a heavy
Misery.
influence on this. Yeah, yeah. And I think some other films you might want to think about, like the mother character in this is inspired by Goonies, the mother in that who's overbearing. Do you remember Sleepwalkers?
I haven't watched Sleepwalkers, but now that you're talking about Stephen King, I'm just thinking about Mr. Mercedes and the mom from that book, who still gives
Yeah,
me nightmares.
yeah, yeah. That's not so much of an influence because I wrote this prior to reading that,
Got it.
but totally get it. Thing about Sleepwalkers is like the mother and son have a really strange relationship. I've never actually finished watching it. I've only seen the first 30 minutes, like 3 or 4 times, but it's seared in my brain. So I was channeling that. And then, are you familiar with Ordinary People, the
Yeah,
Best Picture
absolutely.
winner?
Yeah, yeah.
The mother in that is also a heavy influence of the main character in this.
And not Barbarian, the mother from Barbarian.
I wish. I wish I would have written Barbarian. Are you kidding me? That movie's so good.
So it's like when you were writing this, like were you were real conscious of those, or you're just kind of like what was your? I'm just really interested because when I wrote the scripts, I think I guess you could sum them up as like Blade meets Clerks, and so like that was
That's
my
wild, dude.
inspiration. But like unconsciously, I was trying to kind of do gags that like I don't think I was trying to copy anything, but I was definitely channeling stuff. So like when you were writing this, like I know you obviously weren't trying to compare it to The Gate or Misery, but like how much did those influence you when you were writing it or crafting these characters, or were they in your head already and they just helped you figure them out?
So Annie from Misery was in my head when I was writing it. The thing about her is that she has a really twisted logic, and so she is willing to hurt people she loves to get what she wants, and that is a main influence of the character in the book. So I was really channeling her, but maybe not into the sense of like being able to mallet people's feet. But I had her in the back of my head throughout writing the entire thing. Yeah.
Nice. And then like so we talked about the movies, like what like if when this becomes a movie, when this becomes a movie, who's playing Otis and Mother?
So I'd really love it. Is it Barry Keoghan?
Oh, and
He,
he's the
he's
mother.
he's Otis. He's the
No
main
joke.
character. He's the mother. That would maybe work. So the mother character is really hard. So you need a character in her like 70s. And I was thinking about Jessica Lange when I wrote it, but she might be a little too old. I think she's in her mid 70s at this point. So I actually struggled to come up with an idea of who it would be, but Jessica Lange was my like what I was going for.
I could see Mel Lang just totally emotionally manipulating me.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's fantastic in everything she does.
And I could see Barry Keoghan getting emotionally manipulated by Jessica Lange. What about Sarandon?
Susan Sarandon could do it. She doesn't have like the hardness
Yeah.
I'm looking for. I mean, as a person, I think she does, but as an actress, I don't think it comes through as much.
Yeah, she's quite warm on screen.
Mm-hmm.
Even
Yeah,
when she's a villain, you're like, I like her.
yeah, but she has the size. Like Mother in the book is very small.
Oh man, so she just uses her. I'm excited to read this. I know I just got it, everyone, and I've been really busy, so I haven't been able to sit down and pay enough attention to this. But once again, man, I'm so happy for you. And like, where's this website at?
Yeah, you can get it at Tenebrous.com, Tenebrous Books. But you can also just get it on Amazon. Look up Split Scream 6. Like if you just type it into Google, you're going to find a place that sells it. I don't care where you buy it, as long as you're reading it. I will say that if you buy it from the press, I get slightly more money. So I get more pennies than I would if you get if you got it from Amazon.
Well, here's the thing, all you movies, films, and flicks listeners. You've been listening to David for free for 6 years now, and he's probably given you endless delight. And he sets up the Oscar thing for movies, films, and flicks every year. And we've had some great discussions. So I'm thinking You should go buy his book as a thank you for the Underworld series and the Mandy episodes and all the Bloodshot episodes.
So many Bloodshot episodes. I mean, I still love that movie.
I'm so happy we're talking about it tonight because this movie rocks.
It does. It rules. Yeah. So when I was writing this book, and then later on, it's like a interesting process when you put creative stuff together because like you don't always know your influences, or then you will watch something halfway through it, and then you'll pull that influence into the book. So when I was writing this, the whole I would say is really more like Mel's Hole. Are you familiar with that story from Coast to Coast?
Mel's Hole?
Mel's Hole.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, it's like this urban legend of Bottomless Hole. You don't really need to know the details behind besides that. But like when I first started it, it kind of came about thinking about Mel's Hole. It's like, oh, there's this hole next to this barn, and where does it go? But as I was like doing my research, because you want to know what else is out there when you're writing something like this, I came across the gate. I've definitely seen this when I was younger, but I had not remembered it. So when I was pitching it, I was like, I really hope this works.
Can I ask you a question? When I was watching The Gate, like I loved our episode about Love and Monsters, where I kind of talked to you as a writer and creating story. What is it like? Like the 80s, 90s, I think were really rich with kids in horror films and kids on adventures, and even like Rookie of the Year or The Sandlot. But then we had like the Great Panda Adventure. We had Page Master, the Never Ending Story in the 80s. There was just like a wealth of kids on adventure films. And like, what is it about these kind of PG-13 gatekeeping films that feature kids that are so memorable? And like, as a writer, are they just, why are they so rare? Why aren't they around anymore? Like, what do you think about that?
So I guess to answer your first question,
I
where
asked
they
you
come
like 8
from.
questions there.
Yeah. We'll start
Yeah.
with like where they come from, and I'm thinking about the influences on the gate, right? And obviously, I think it's Ghostbusters, and I actually don't know the release date of this, but I think the gate came out after it. Is E.T. most likely is a big influence in the Goonies.
Oh yeah, Goonies was 85.
Yeah, and what was this, 80, 89, 88?
87.
Okay, yeah. So like all these movies were out there previously, and it feels like it was in the zeitgeist, and I can see why a studio would greenlit this. It's like, oh, it's a fantasy. They have some kids in it. Sounds cool. Now, why do we keep going back to these type of things? This is me just spitballing here. As a child, you are more willing to believe things and experience things, and everything's new. So the stories themselves, for me, feel like they're freer and more open to write. Like there's not as much hangups in the characters. You can just sort of let the kids do what the kids do. From an audience perspective, there's a couple things going on here too. One, as a child, if you're watching a child on screen, you know that they are going to make dumb decisions, and you're willing to let that slide. But there's also a heightened sense of horror because it is a child, right? And then they can't defend themselves as well as an adult. And if you want to be purely capitalist on it, it's a 4-quadrant movie. You can get kids and their parents to go see it.
Because like people faces melt in this. There's awesome monsters. There's some sassy dialogue. There's one of the greatest lines that I've ever heard in my life when a kid goes, "We accidentally summoned demons who used to rule the universe to come and take over the world." That's like an all-timer script line that made me so happy to listen to. And also, I guess I understand too why kids are in horror films, because I just pulled up the list of highest grossing horror films ever. And like, it is number one, unadjusted for inflation. Like there's kids in Jaws. Jaws is number 2. A kid is attacked. It chapter 2. They go back to kids, and there's some adults. Exorcist, a girl is taken over by, a demon. Then like number 8 is A Quiet Place. Number 9 has kids. You go to Conjuring 2, there's kids. Annabelle Creation, there's kids. 14 is Quiet Place Part 2, more kids. So I think it's interesting where like Quiet Place Day 1 knows no kids in that. Like Annabelle, and then 21 is Us, and then you have like, let's see, The Ring, a kid is involved in a number 25 film. Like it seems like kids are just really, they seem like that, and religion seem to offer some box office gold. And this movie, The Gate, has religion. And even though I love the line of reading the Bible to him, like, these demons were around before this. That's like one of another all-timer horror lines.
It's so good.
I was like, whoa. But yeah, you have some religious stuff, you have some kid stuff, you have some kind of adventures, genuine scares, good monsters. And yeah, this really is a 4-quadrant movie, but it's really interesting to know that like of the top 25 highest grossing horror films, unadjusted for inflation, 80% of them have kids in danger. So it just seems like that's why Ernest Scared Stupid scared me so much. And you and I have talked a lot about that because kids were involved. Jaws 2 scared me because kids were involved. And I was a kid when I watched it. Like I was never that scared by Scream because they were all adults playing high schoolers and I wasn't in high school yet. So I think I hadn't watched The Gate at this time either. I wish I had. This probably would have been one of my favorite movies.
I should throw in there the Neverending Story probably influenced this as well,
Yeah.
and Labyrinth. There was like all these like dark fantasy slash horror movies at that time period. You know, when I was reading, I hope this is confirmed because I couldn't find a site that confirmed this. Got it off of IMDb doing my research, and they were like, "Well, the original script was much darker," and it got a little bit childrenified as it went through the process of getting made.
So I read this. I read an interview with the director, and he is quoted as saying that the script didn't change too much, and he wrote that let's see, where he goes. Stephen Dorff. The original script was pretty much as dark as the movie ended up being. The bones of a great film are all there in Michael's draft. I came to the project as a result just having finished a film, and so they worked together a little bit. But yeah, he said, according to the director, he said it was as scary as like the final film was as scary as the script. Now they do have some the changes were that the opening dream scene was added, and then like so there's like an important childhood abandonment theme present throughout the film because they're true 80s parents and they just duck out.
Whenever leave a 15-year-old home with a 10-year-old. I don't even know how old Stephen Dorff is in this character.
Parents in the 80s were never home, so they probably changed it to that, to the abandonment. But yeah, that's what he said. He said it was about as scary as the original script was.
Yeah, the difference that again, this is IMDb, but the difference that people were talking about was that in the initial draft was that we're going to call them little demons, were pulling people out of homes and killing them, which didn't make it into the script. Which would have been pretty funny, but also I get why it's not there.
And you know what's interesting too is the director. You were talking about Labyrinth. The director saw this as a dark fairy tale, and like he said that fairy tales are an important part of your development, your creativity, especially when you're young. I feel like you have to experience fear when you're young because it opens up a floodgate to imagination. My own experience is filled with these seminal things that happened when I was a kid. Like when I saw Snow White, I was a scared little kid after, but that really fueled my imagination. So it's like, and I think that's true. Like Ernest Scared Stupid, these movies, when you see, like when I saw Return of the Jedi and I saw these monsters, my world opened up. Like I really believe that, like it fueled my imagination, and Willow fueled my imagination. So I think we talked about Willow. Was that me and you?
That was me and you. Yeah, it was one of the first things I pitched. I was like, okay, we're gonna go talk about Willow, Mark.
So I'm like, yeah, wait, we did that too. But yeah, it's really interesting though that this guy really, he's correct though. You watch a movie and it scares you, but I think it also opens up your imagination because it's not safe. Like you're out of it. Like you're scared. You have to process that, and then you process what makes you scared. And I think this movie is why it's so beloved. Like it doesn't have the greatest scores, but it's like 3.2 on Letterboxd. It's 6.0 on IMDb. It's pretty decent, but it seems to have a really nice cult around it who love the film.
Yeah, it's decent everywhere other than Rotten Tomatoes. If you go to Rotten Tomatoes, crazy. It's like 36%. But because, I like to look at numbers, all the critics' reviews are from like the last 7 years or something.
Oh, man.
I couldn't find any contemporary reviews of the movie. And that also just sort of holds true for Rotten Tomatoes itself. Like everything and for that's older just seems to, at least in my opinion, get hammered a little bit more. Like there's a bias towards new films.
No, I agree. And it's dated. And like, because listen, in this movie, they drop some homophobic slurs. There's like the word retarded is used. Like, I mean, it's just a classic 80s film. So the people probably watch that and don't put it in context. I mean, that's never right. It's never been right. But like, yeah, I definitely think people watch it now and they're like, the effects are bad. You're like, what? These effects are amazing.
Yeah. These are really good effects. Are you kidding me?
And
they're in camera too.
It's also worth putting out there that John Levengood of Movies, Films, and Flicks and John's Horror Corner loves this movie. So I had to put this out there before, release this because it's one of his favorite PG-13 movies ever. And he adores it. So it's, yeah. I wish I would have watched this back in the day. This one wouldn't have scared me as much as Ernest Scared Stupid, though.
I don't know. This one's, well,
that troll sucks.
If we're being really, really honest, This movie, the gate is like a slow build and build and build and build, and then everything pops off. With Ernest, it like hits the ground running, and you see
Yeah, it
Trantor
does.
immediately. And so, as a kid, I would probably have been more scared of that movie because I'm scared off the bat. And this one, I would have been like, "Am I going to make it to that second half?" But I'm
Do
so
you
glad I did.
do you think PG-13 horror movies should be kind of arrested like Poltergeist, Ernest Scared Stupid, this for doing the under the bed thing? Because little kids are going to go watch this, and there's so many under the bed scares or jump scares involving a bed and looking under a bed. Like, that's pretty devious. Like, kids are going to watch this movie. We're going to put something under the bed. We're going to mess with them. Like,
I mean,
that's
is that a chicken or the egg problem? Did the movie start the boogeyman, or did the boogeyman come about you know what I mean?
it's just so devious because you know 9-year-olds are going to watch it, and then you know that whenever they get in their bed, they're like, "Is a tiny little demon that can turn into a slug in there or a dead zombie? Like, is it going to
Yeah.
get me?"
I mean, but the under the bed thing is really a good. I mean, it's overdone, but it's also a really good jump scare or scare because there's two things happening. Like your lizard brain is reacting to. It's a tight space that's dark. That is
Hmm.
terrifying. That is really, really terrifying. And you add in another level of that. It's like something could be in there that you don't know about, and you're sleeping on top of it, and you're supposed to be safe when you sleep.
That's your protection. And then they
Yep.
put a damn troll who psychs you out. It's on top of the bed. It's evil. The hand gag in this isn't too bad when the hand comes out, but
Oh, that's
it's
a my jaw dropped like because
it
I
looks
didn't
great.
remember it.
No,
Because that's the thing. Like, okay, this is a point about this movie that I wanted to talk with you about, and it's a question. I think I have an answer to it, but do you think this movie is intentionally playing with cliches?
absolutely.
Do you think they're purposely doing funny things with them, and so like setting up a cliche only to subvert it later?
I think so. Like,
I think so too.
like the kids don't die. Like that's really refreshing. The it's very cliched, but I think that's part of the fun. Like how you get someone accidentally pricks himself and gets blood. Like that's in tons of movies. Then the dog, the dead animal coming back, the shape shifting, the Chekhov's fireworks. But no, yeah, I think it definitely does mess with kind of tropes and cliches and it does. I think it does subvert it. Like these kids are, like pretty great. You think those two stupid sisters are gonna die, but then they just duck out. And there's a lot that happens in this movie that it's hard to kind of figure out where this is going. Like, and you know what? The craziest thing is when they're looking for the dad's gun, and Stephen Dorff gets bit on his hand by Terry.
Oh, terrifying.
That's
Oh,
evil, and just like he squashes the eyeball in his hand, and like, but what are some of the cliches you're talking about, or like some of the
yeah.
tropes?
So let's talk about there's the like you wake up and it was all a dream. Well, he wakes up and it wasn't a dream. It's real.
Yeah.
Okay. There's the under the bed thing, which is, a trope, but then there's the third long hand when he gets away, right? Right.
Hmm.
They use the Bible to defeat the old gods, but it doesn't work. You know, it just feels like they set all these things up that you should know about
You're
that
making
people would.
them mad.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's a great line. But it feels like they knew what these were and were trying to sidestep it by like changing it just a little, um, or putting a lampshade on it, maybe.
No, I agree. I mean, it's nice even with the sister. Like the sister comes back and she's cool. And like, what I like too is I feel like in all these movies, the house is always clean at the end of it. But in this one, they're like, you think the parents will notice? Like, that's the best line ever. Think they'll notice? Like, the house is still trashed. Like, this isn't a magical fix at the end of it, like most movies are. Like, these kids are going to have some explaining to do. And also, too, like, this is a really neat movie where the finale of this movie, this kid has to get a firework, but then he has to take batteries from the flashlight and put them into the thing and then blow up an ancient demon. Like, this movie's all about like ingenuity, and it's about reading, and it's about just and I also like that metal saves the day. Like they're like, this is how you bring it out, but this is how you get rid of it. So I kind of dig that like metal music is not the devil here.
Yeah, and that's the other cliche I wanted to mention because there's that whole thing of like you play a record backwards, it has demonic whatever, but they play it backward and it's really how to get rid of it instead of how to summon it. And I was like, Because I first saw that, I was like, "Oh, this is ridiculous." But then I was like, "Oh, no, this is really funny." It's doing this on purpose.
And I'm telling you that line with the Bible, and they're like, these guys are older than the Bible. Like that's a crazy funny line. Like that's a really interesting. I, I don't know. That's a really interesting thought. And then they just throw it out, and it's
And it doesn't work.
this movie's so refreshing, man. This is so my recent episodes they're not gonna come out for a while, but I just recorded one about young Frankenstein, and then I watched this one, and they were such great palate cleansers because of how just good they are. Like Young Frankenstein's a classic. I'm not saying The Gate is an all-time classic, which Young Frankenstein is, but The Gate is just such. It's one of these movies that you're so happy you come around. Like you're so happy that you find because there's some really. I'm telling you, when they write, we accidentally summon demons who use it to rule the universe to come and take over the world. That's like one of the greatest lines ever, I think, in a horror movie.
Straight faced.
Yeah.
I mean, this movie's very earnest, straight faced.
Oh, it's so good. And I like that the sister comes around. Like you never see that dynamic. Like she's a little bit of a butt at first, but then she goes and buys him a rocket. And then they kind of ride or die till the end. And he saves her. Like I dig that about it. And it's like those two girls. I feel like those two girls would always be dead meat, which I love that quote in here, dead meat. Like, but they escape. And I don't know. It's a simple movie, but it's just so refreshing.
Everything around it elevates it. So, like, let's talk about the fashion of this movie
Yeah.
because we have to talk about it because there's
And the hair.
The hair. Oh my God, the hair is terrible. I was like, did people actually dress like this? I don't remember. I wasn't old enough. But that battle jacket's like the best battle jacket I have seen in any horror movie. The one that Terry's wearing.
Oh yeah, he's great, isn't he?
Yeah. And even Glenn has those patches all over his coat. When this movie started, the first thing I thought was, can I get a coat like that? And so, all right, Mark, here's a question. Do you want Terry's battle jacket or do you want Glenn's red astronaut coat?
Oh man, battle jacket.
I know. Battle jacket's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
I'm not a red guy. Like I
Yeah,
like
but
killer
are you a
dwarfs. Like
patches?
that battle. I don't know. That battle jacket's legit.
Yeah, I don't know. I might be an astronaut guy. It's pretty rad.
I'm
Killer
a ba-
Dwarfs are a real band, by the way, so you can go listen to them on Spotify.
I'm a battle jacket dude for
Okay.
sure.
I don't think I can pull it off. I just don't have the temperament. Like I don't have the vibe to pull off a battle jacket very well.
I mean, what do you think I could pull off? I could see you in the red jacket easily.
I mean, you could pull it off.
The red jacket?
No, you could pull off the battle jacket. You're a battle jacket guy. Easy. I'm a goofy bomber jacket with a bunch of stuff on it.
If it was a blue bomber jacket, I'd wear it. A gray bomber jacket, I'd wear it. But I'm just not a red jacket guy. I'm a
Yeah.
red turtleneck guy. No, not turtle. I'm a red sweater guy or a red cardigan guy.
Mhm. So yeah, that's so funny. So the fashion's really good. I love that. The hair is wild.
Yeah.
And then I was saying the things that like also elevated it was the effects. Honestly, like the effects are amazing in this movie,
Incredible.
even today. And like I was reading the reviews, and everyone's like, "This is dated. It doesn't look bad." And I'm like, "Are
You
you
were
kidding
smoking
me?
crack.
What do you like? This looks better than stuff that's out right now. I'd rather watch this than a CGI storm at the end of a film."
The forced perspective in this movie. So they use blue screen, trick perspective, stop motion puppets. They use like a under crank. They would shoot them at a lower frame rate so they appear to move in a little more furtively. It's like they had real actors and like they also had to be coached like in order to compensate for the frame rate. Like this isn't just crappy dated stuff. This was really inventive, and the movie didn't cost anything. Like it didn't have a big budget, and it still looks great. So, oh man, that yeah. Hey, a movie that came out almost 40 years ago looks dated. Like it sucks. Like,
I don't. I mean,
oh.
I'd still rather watch this than that.
Yeah,
Than
exactly.
again, a bunch of CGI. You know, while we're on the topic of like the special effects, the cool stuff, do you want to do a quick like three drafts of the top three like special effects we loved in this movie?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go first.
Oh, the finger. No, like the when the creature gets stuck in the door. And then its
Oh,
arm gets stuck in the door, then they close it and it turns into slugs that go away. That's incredible.
yeah, yeah. I lost my line a little bit about the eyeball on the hand.
Yeah.
So good, so good. I was like, I don't understand what's happening here, but it's so good.
I didn't see that. You know what I love too? This giant monster. I'm like, he could just grab this kid. And there's a scene where it just goes down and grabs him and it kind of leaves him alone. But I loved, and it gives him the eyeball, but I loved how fast that demon was. Like they thought about it and it looked incredible. So yeah, I'm gonna say like the big demon who looked just awesome coming up
Yeah,
and grabbing him looked great.
really good. It's an excellent third act. Face melting, the father's
Oh
face melting.
gosh.
I don't know how that it made into a PG-13 movie because it is gross and I love it.
And a child does it. It's crazy. And I my next one is when Terry stomps on one of the minions, and it's just the minions like, oh man, like just messed up, and it's awesome.
It's such a funny thing too because all the other ones are like, "Uh-oh, we could be
this
hurt."
this stomps on it, and it's incredible. And so yeah, I think those are my top three because man, you know what's awesome. I love high concept movies. These kids have a house. Portal to hell opens on their lawn. They have a horrible night. Like it's so beautifully high concept. And when you have such an easy plot to follow, you have room for character beats. You have room for interesting characters. You have room for metal music. You have room for sisters to come back for their brothers because you know exactly what's happening. Oh, and they explain it. You know what I love about this movie too? They really explain everything. Oh, it's a dark book. It's a Bible for demons. Summons demons. You had the blood. Then we had the levitation. And then there's a sacrifice. And then the guy's like, oh, there's a hole in the back, and I have a dead dog. I'm gonna go put the dog in there. And it's like so easy to explain, and you just watch the dominoes falling. So you're almost like you're almost just enjoying the process of it, and you it's so easy to follow that you can get immersed in it. Sometimes there's movies that are just racking your brain, and you're kind of like, what? What? And that you're not in the movie. This one's so straightforward that you just can enjoy it. Like you're just in one the whole time. You're not going to two and overthinking it. You're just in one. You're using your lizard brain. And
Yeah.
that's what I love about it.
But it's also so one, my third one is the body falling over and
Oh,
turning into
sorry,
little
sorry, sorry.
demons. Make sure we get that in there because
Yeah.
that's like amazing. Um, but what's good about this, it is a simple plot, but it's also unpredictable in how the demon uses his power to scare the children. Like I never would have thought that in the first act when they introduce like there's someone in the wall, that person would show up at the end of the movie, right? You're like, what just happened here?
Yeah. And like people would bite you when you go into clothes racks. Since the story's so simple, there's a hole in the backyard. Demons are coming out. You can do that though. You can have people come from the walls. You can have different traps, different tricks coming out because the story's so easy to follow. And then you throw in surprises in there to give people nice shocks. And I dig that about it. And it, kind of reminds me of like Jumanji. I feel like Jumanji pulled a lot from this film.
I haven't seen it so long that I can't remember.
They
So you're
find a
gonna have to
game.
explain it.
So
Oh,
like
they find a game.
yeah, they
Yeah.
find a game and then they play it and then they have to finish it and their house goes to crap. And like Robin Williams comes out and then they have to like battle tigers and humans and alligators and all that kind of stuff. So it's like neighbors come over and it's a brother and sister battling with this game. And I feel like that's the kind of same thing here. They're not playing a game, but they're trying to defeat demons in their house. But I'm telling you, it's so, even when I watched Jumanji, I was like, this is great. This is amazing. Like, the kid almost dies. The brother almost dies in the movie, or the sister. They get stung and poisoned. And it's kind of you think Terry's gone. You think the sister, like, where'd the sister go? And it's a nice happy ending, but a face melts off and gets ripped apart by a child. So this really is a 4 quadrant film.
I mean, a dog dies, but is resurrected.
Yeah.
I
The
couldn't
dog
believe that. I was just like, oh, that would never make it to the script today.
the dog comes back, makes me so happy. That's why I love the movies we've covered. We also covered Night of the Comet. That's like the surprises in this movie remind me of the moment in Night of the Comet where the older sister gets attacked by a zombie and she just kicks his ass and then gets on a police motorcycle and flies away. It's
I'm so happy I can introduce you to like these wacky 80s movies.
like that's one of the happiest I've ever been because it subverted my expectations so thoroughly and was so hilarious. So like in this movie with Terry, like you kind of thought Terry might be dead meat, but he's not. Like he's a good kid and he doesn't turn on his friend and they fight for each other. And I don't know. I love it. I love this movie so much.
I'm so happy, Mark. I have some questions here. How many little demons do you think you could fight at the same time?
I don't know, 50.
50? Think you can do 50?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do it by 10. 10, yeah, I think 10 you could easily defeat. 20, also I think pretty easy. 30 is getting a little sketchy for me.
Well,
'Cause
where are we fighting him?
Oh, I don't know. That's a great question. We'll just say we're fighting them in the same place that Terry was fighting them.
In the house?
No, in the pit.
Oh,
He has his back against the wall. People coming at him.
I'd just be jumping.
I'd be kicking. I would like. I guess I'm gonna be a punter now.
You could pick 2 up and throw them. You just can't. You just got to move. I mean, 50 is a lot. I could demolish 20 because these kid beat them up pretty good. Like one stomp did them, and I'm 3-4 times that kid. So yeah, I would just be kicking the crap. You just keep 1 foot planted. Don't roll your ankle. Don't do anything dumb, and just smash them.
Yeah, and if you get like any type of thing to swing with, it's over for them.
Oh yeah,
You
mean
get
like
a broom,
hockey stick.
done. Hockey stick, even better.
You know what I could do to those things with a hockey stick? Oh yeah, no. You know what? I'm gonna say. Well, they're not gonna take me down. Are they gonna like trip me? Like
That's the thing. If they can only trip you, right? That's how they're gonna win. Just think about a movie where you saw regular sized humans fight a big monster. They always trip you. So
and
you
you
just
could
have to
also
not get tripped.
you could climb up the hole a little bit and just have them come one to like chase you and just slowly kick them down. All 50 of them aren't going to get up at the same time. They don't have spears.
No, here my thing was like, I bet you could pop their heads off pretty easy.
You know,
saying, like-
Predators would light those things up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Gremlins
definitely.
would kill the like. I wouldn't even want to fight one gremlin. Like I would not fight Stripe. I would just quit. Like, I could probably do something. I could probably defeat Stripe, but I just don't even want to try. One
Not
of these
worth it.
things, if one of these things came after me, I would just pummel it. But that's what makes them good, though, because they can get through doors, and they're minions. That's all they are, though. They're not anything more than that. So, but I guess if 50 of them formed, how many do you think it takes to form a zombie person?
Well, I think it's less than you think, because when that fell over, there was probably only, I bet there was less than 20 of them.
Okay, so that means I'd be fighting 2.5 humans if they formed two. And if they Megatroned, they could form like a giant. So that's something we got to worry about here.
Yeah, but they fall apart pretty easy.
Yeah, that's true. Like I don't want them Power Rangering on me though.
Yeah, I still think like 30 is my upper limit. Really, like it's getting a little bit too much.
You just throw them at each other. Like just pick one up, throw them, pick another one up, throw them. You're gonna get bit, but I'd rather fight them than Compies from Jurassic World that got Peter Stormare.
I have not seen Jurassic World. Well,
Whoa.
I have, but I don't remember it.
Okay, yeah, Peter Stormare gets attacked by a bunch of Compies and they get him. I'd rather fight one of these things than a Compy.
Okay. Well, I want MMF
Can
listeners.
Can I just say something to you real quick?
Yeah.
You need to eat your feet and suck your nose.
Yeah, those are some. I was like, wow, that was 80s 80s one-liners.
Suck your nose. Eat your feet. Or suck your feet and eat your nose.
I was gonna say I want MMF listeners to write in to say how many minions could they defeat?
Yes, please do. If you're listening to this, let us know.
Greater or less than 50 or 30?
I could take 30.
Okay. I hope we never find out.
Yeah, please don't. I have a bunch of trees in my backyard.
So another thing I wanted to chat about this movie is I was reading these reviews and they're all like, this movie's spooky. It's not really scary. And as a horror writer, that pisses me off. And the reason is like your spooky is someone's scary, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't get to tell people what they think is scary. There's plenty of kids who saw this who were terrified out of their mind. And there's probably adults who would watch this who would also be terrified out of their mind.
Yeah, my kids are having parties when I'm gone. No, I'm joking. Yeah, okay. You and I are movie reviewers and we write for a website and they're like, hey, this new Devil's Gate movie's coming out, like as a re-release. Watch it. In 2027, we're writing the 40th anniversary of it. So we watch it, and you and I, we've watched Martyrs, we've watched Mandy, we've watched Us, We've watched Long Legs, The Substance. So when 40-year-old jaded us watch it, and I mean, no one's hiring for like probably it's probably like 20 something year old. But I guess what I'm saying is we're going to be jaded. Like the movie's not going to scare us. So then we shouldn't just be like, oh, it's not scary. Like this movie in 87 was intended for kids. It was intended to be like a gateway film. It was intended to be Labyrinth isn't scary. That's not a scary film. The Goonies wasn't scary. It had some moments in it, but I think you're just supposed to think about the danger in it, the impending danger. And you know what? The jump scares in this film are legit. So you got to go back to 87. Who is the market, like the target audience, and like do that. Don't be like, it wasn't scary. Like that's the laziest criticism, but whatever. I think a lot of people, a lot of websites just hire young kids to write
They're
reviews
cheap.
for free. And, a lot of people write reviews for free so they can get into critic lists, and then, which is great. It's an awesome opportunity, but they're also really young and they're just kind of taking whatever assignment to kind of make a name for themselves. So who knows how many movies they've watched? Who knows what they're thinking about with film? And they're probably being snooty with it because they're trying to make a mark with the audience. And so, or like with other critics. So it's I don't know. But John Levengood wrote a review, David Cross, and he loves David Course, and he loves it. So
Yeah. So I guess
NFS
there's two
Horror
things
Corner loves it.
here. One, you spurred me by thinking here, this is probably associated with the Satanic Panic. First off, that's why it was put out, right?
Oh
Gateway.
yeah, 80s.
Yeah, yeah. And then the other one I forgot as I talked about Satanic Panic. Whoops.
Well, so you're saying that like Satanic Panic influence, wasn't that more like 70s though? Wasn't like Kiss, or was 87 Satanic Panic?
I thought it was in the 80s and late 90s. But there's always sort of satanic panic because
Yeah, that's
there's a
true.
large religious population in the United States.
But you know what though? These are good kids. And what happens to them is not their fault. So I think if we're looking at like Satanic Panic, isn't that more when a kid does something wrong and then is cursed by it? These are just nice kids who have a bad hole in their backyard. And holes in your backyard suck. Like even if there's no demons in them, you got to fill
I
them
mean,
up.
they were doing witchcraft. They made him levitate, which is also the strangest part of the movie because they levitate and everyone's just like, okay.
Yeah, he breaks his. But yeah, that's true. But also, oh yeah, they do levitation. But I think that girl was just an idiot. Like she never thought that would work.
But it did. And
Yeah.
then someone like the best, like the best out the director had of this is like there's clearly some in the background goes special effects or something. He's like optical illusion, and then it's just like what?
Oh man.
So I was gonna say something about like reviewing films. Honestly, we both started off with like we hadn't seen all these movies and we had to build ourselves up to know all these things to be able to talk about it.
Yeah.
And there's an audience out there that doesn't know all these things and they need someone out there who can sort of they can join as they learn about the history. What happens though, there's often not enough people who've been around long enough to tell you about like why these things are all influenced and interrelated.
I agree. I guess, and also you and I are different too, though, because we're researchers,
Hmm.
and we met getting our masters, and like I love research. Like if I watch anything, sports, whatever, I want to research it. I want to know why. I want to know the history. I want to know the team, who's playing. So I think I like to have a full scope of it before I judge it. But I think I'm in my bubble. I don't think a lot of people are like that, right? I think a lot of people just see it and go, they suck. Like I'm not saying in general, that's totally fine. Like there's different strokes for different folks. But I think I guess I guess I got to stop expecting people to do as much research as I do because I'm probably in like the 0.1% of people when
But
at
you
least when it comes to movies.
but you should
So
expect people to do a minimum amount of research before they talk about something.
yeah,
Because there's
should
a lot
we?
of uninformed opinions about film that basically boil down to why isn't this the MCU?
But I mean, 85% of people only read headlines. 15% of people read, like 13% of people read the first two paragraphs, and like 2% read the entire article. So I guess I'm not that doesn't. I guess I would be more shocked if someone wrote a really thorough Like Aaron Newirth, he's on the show a lot. He's one of my favorite critics because he looks at movies in context of what they are. And I never read that from critics. So he's one of the few critics out there who actually looks at a movie in context of what it is. So I haven't been able to find many critics who do that. So I guess I just accept them as unicorns, and I accept the norm being the lack of research.
This is we're going way abreast in this, but do you think our society's shift towards more of a consumption of art, like belief? How do I put this? My philosophy right now. So I think that a lot of people right now just watch and consume things to watch and consume them. They don't really take the time to think about them. And as a result of that, there are probably more reviewers in the vein of like worth your time, not worth your time, because there's a million other things that you could do.
100%. But the
Okay.
problem is how they're watching this. They're probably doing three other things. So they're telling us it's not worth your time when they're not really giving their time to it, which always bothers me. But also, too, you are 100% right. This is not worth your time. But it's like, how did you watch it? Like, what did you? And I think we have been spoiled. Like, no, but if you think about it, back in the day, you had water coolers, so you would go watch The Sopranos Sunday night, and then you go to work and talk to it with people. Like, did you watch that episode? Like, can you believe that episode? Like, that was when there weren't that many channels, or like Rescue Me was on, or Lost was on. Like, yo, did you watch Lost last night? You could absorb it and you could talk about it because there was people around the water cooler wanting to. But I think now there's so much content, like you said, it's like right now there's What We Do in the Shadows. There's Shrinking, which is a great season. I love that show. I got to finish that season. It's awesome. There's the new Silo coming out. There's The Penguin. There's Lord of the Rings. There's 18 different shows, and so I think you just have to like get them in when you can, and then you're probably not thinking about them as much because you're just absorbing them to be able to say, not get spoiled. So you're right. I think it stretches people thin, and you can't really absorb it like you used to because I think some critics have to watch 10 movies a week and write reviews for them. It's impossible to do. So, yeah, you can't possibly give all your attention to the movie and all your attention to the review. So that's why I guess I just appreciate the shorter reviews that actually think about the movie a little bit. And then that's what I like. But also you got to know, man, like movie criticism, so I go to press screenings. I'm part of the Georgia Film Critics Association. Right now, like a lot of influencers get to the screenings before movie critics because more eyes are on influencers than movie critics right now. So it's like a lot of movie promotion are going towards the TikTok crowd. And why not? They have millions of views or a lot more like traction than someone who writes for a website. So everything's changing, man. And I guess we just got to adapt with it. But that was a really good question you asked. I
Yeah.
just want to let you know.
Well, let's take it back to the movie and
Okay.
talk about this movie in the context. So like it was in 1987, this movie comes out. Are we saying that we think in 1987 this was worth people's time?
Absolutely. I mean, this
Yeah.
is a good film. And
Mhm.
it's fun. The kids are good. And here's why it's worth your time. They put work into it. I think there's a lot of movies that get made that don't put any work into them. So it's not worth your time. I think when it is something like this that is able to elevate what it should have been into becoming really good, it's worth your time. So yeah, I think this movie was absolutely worth people's time in 87.
Okay. Now, is it worth people's time in 2024?
Yes, because it's funny. and it and also too, the lessons in simplicity in script writing can influence anyone. Keep it high concept. And like you look at Mad Max, it's there and back again. But during Mad Max, there's some incredible surprises that you wouldn't see coming because the story's so simple. So keep it simple. And then when you keep it simple and easy to follow, that's when you can add some really fun stuff in there. That's when you can be creative. That's when you can focus on the special effects, when you keep the plot structure really simple. And so I think anybody who watches this now should appreciate the simplicity of the storytelling and how it's able to elevate that.
Yeah. I think this movie is really I think it's for people who want to really consume the 80s styles of films. And not doesn't mean just people who were born in the 80s, but like people who are learning about it, I think would be really good for them. But I think this would be an amazing film to watch as a get together, as like have people over and literally like do a screening of this wild thing because there were moments that it would feel amazing to have people go that like jump up and go that third hand, where did it come from? Or when they all everyone in the room sees the face melt. Like this is a party movie for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
understand why it's a cult classic.
And it's just, I think any film like Night of the Comet, this, even Mandy, that it's a revenge film, it's a zombie film, but they're able to put a really interesting stamp on it. That's what I think people need to watch. Like, there's so many action films out there that I would just call content nowadays. Like most of the Netflix action films that come out, they're nothing more than content. But then you'll get a Rebel Ridge, and you're
Oh,
like,
it's so
oh,
good.
yeah,
Oh, it's so
exactly.
good.
And so you Rebel Ridge should be celebrated, not the Mark Wahlberg Holly Berry movie or the the Lift with Kevin Hart that features like one of the worst performances I've ever seen in my life. Like you should celebrate Rebel Ridge. You should celebrate movies like that could have been content, but instead rise above it. Like these are movies like I love, like, you know, I just love when a film it's such a simple, it's like Rambo too, Rebel Ridge. It's easy to follow, but it's so good and the performances are so good and the writing is so smart that it just elevates everything, and it takes a simple concept that's familiar and makes it great. Like I think more people should watch stuff like that.
And it bucks the trend of what's happening now. It's not a John Wick style film. It's
Yes,
counter
exactly.
programming.
Like he doesn't kill people. Dude's a monster. And it's, good performances. All like I love when like even like the villains, they're clearly the villains. I don't want to give anything away. It's such a smart movie. Oh my gosh, I love it. But yeah, that's what I just think movies that could have been stock, but instead rise to the top. Those are the ones that I love to watch. Like I sometimes have a really hard time rewatching $300 million movies because there are the occasional Dune 2, Dune movies that just are gorgeous and spectacles, but they have so many things at their disposal. Like I like when a smaller film can just excel. Like that's what really thrills me. And this is one of those movies.
We're probably also the minority. I would say probably most of your audience is a minority on that.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, I feel like you've cultivated an audience that one is very accepting of all types of movies.
Yeah.
And by that I mean like they're more willing to watch things that I think traditional people would think would be boring. Or they're willing to consider multiple angles of why you should watch something and why it's good for different reasons. Other like how do I put it? Like we watch movies where sometimes it's boring. We can have like a boring plot, but we can really like it because of the aesthetic or what it's attempting to create, or because it had $1 million and it had to get done in 2 weeks. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like we provide that context, and I feel like your audience probably, if they've been listening to it for what 500, 600 episodes, they obviously get that too.
No, you're right. I think the people who stuck with us, and that's why I don't think we'll be a huge podcast ever, because we don't have gigantic
Huge in my heart.
opinions. Like we're popular though. I mean, we got a good audience. We have a loyal audience, but I don't think we'll ever blow up because, you and I watch the underworld movies and we don't just, shit on them. Like you and I, even if they weren't great, we still had a good time talking about them and analyzing why they exist and why. Like I just like knowing why. I know there's the podcast How Did This Get Made, but I like knowing why it went bad or why it went good. Like I
Sure.
find the industry to be interesting.
I mean, Mark, we will get an Underworld remake. That's 100% will happen,
Yeah, like if
and
Sydney
I'm
Sweeney
excited
was
for it.
smart, she would just go do it.
She's smart. She's smart, but you're right. That
Yeah,
would be
she's
pretty
really
amazing.
smart. No, okay. If she No, she actually is very smart. She's producing movies and doing like giant hits. But you know what I mean?
I do.
If
Yeah.
she had free time,
Not with Euphoria season 3.
listen, like her idea for Anyone But You is brilliant. Like I'm happy she's around because she's a great producer. But I'm glad you corrected me on that. I'm not saying she isn't smart, but yeah, yeah, just go make it. Just go do it.
Okay.
Go make Underworld.
So, Mark, before we jump into our draft, because we do one of the every time we're on, I just want to do something I don't think we've done previously in other episodes. What are similar movies to this that you would recommend people watch?
Insidious.
There's children in that. It is a dark horror fantasy.
Ernest Scared Stupid.
Hmm
Labyrinth, Dark Crystal, Legend. Not Legend. No, not Legend.
It has a similar vibe. I mean, it does
Yeah,
have a
but
similar
no,
vibe.
I guess there's just no kid. Well, there's a little kid, but he's actually an adult. But yeah, I would pick kind of kid horror films, not it. I would try. I think the ones I recommended are good.
I think they are too. I think you hit all the ones I had. And I was trying to think of one that was maybe more adult oriented that I would want to watch. I'm going to name a movie. I haven't seen it. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to ask you, because I know you've seen this, whether I should watch it. Netflix Headhunter.
Headhunter, Netflix Headhunter.
Yeah, it's a dark fantasy about a monster hunter.
I haven't watched Headhunters.
Okay.
Wait, no, I have. I saw Headhunter.
I have not watched it.
Oh yeah, that one. Wait, an accomplished headhunt. Wait, Headhunter. Is it the art world? When
No,
did it come out? Oh,
like
2018. Oh, I watched that movie. Rocks. It's like 70 minutes.
okay.
You're talking about the Headhunter. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
micro budget. It's 70 minutes, and yeah, I would watch it. It's good.
Okay. Adult horror fantasy esque.
Yeah, and like listen, it's one dude, and it's awesome.
Thank you, Mark.
Because there's a movie called The Headhunters with the guy from Game of Thrones. So I had to get there. But yeah, The Headhunter is absolutely worthwhile. No, you got to know something though. Know it's micro budget and know that there's not a lot of monsters because special effects and practical effects cost money. So it does stretch it a bit. It probably could have been a short film, but it for what it is, it's very, very entertaining.
Are you ready for our draft?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So everyone, Mark and I are going to draft horror siblings. So here's what I want to do. Since we have the video on today, I want to rock paper scissors to see who goes first.
Okay.
We throw on shoot. So rock
paper scissors shoot.
All right, you got me, Mark. Rock beats reach scissors.
Do you want to know something? I only ever do rock.
In the future, I'm going to beat you if I remember this.
But it's only worth it when people like change their minds and they think I'm going to change my mind, and then they do scissors, and then I beat them. The only way to beat me is changing like I'm never gonna not be rock. And so like when people are like whoa, and then they do a scissors, I'm like, I got you.
I'm lazy. I don't want to move my hand.
It took 200 times, but I finally tricked you into doing paper. Okay, so horror siblings. There's a movie that came out really recently, and it's The Black Phone.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
I love the brother and sister in that. Like I think Madeline McGraw as Gwen, and then Mason Thomas as Finney. They're like ride or die siblings, and I love them in that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on a sidebar here. This is really a subtweet of someone. So they're doing a Black Phone 2. Great, man. I like the first one. I'm gonna watch the second one. But I saw someone was basically like, they're making too many horror sequels. There's so many places for why aren't there more original horror stuff? You aren't looking then. Like if like that's literally the answer. Like if all you want to look at is big Hollywood movies, you might have an argument. But there's literally a new horror movie made every single week. Like you're just not paying attention, and you're just baiting people into engagement.
Let me read you a list real quick of 2024 horror. There's In a Violent Nature. There's The Substance. There's Longlegs. There's Mads. There's The Beast. There's Red Rooms. There's Strange Darling. There's Heretic. There's Lisa Frankenstein. There's I Saw the TV Glow. Vermines, which is Infested. There's Trapped. There's Cuckoo. I mean, there's Abigail. There's Stop Motion. There's Late Night with the Devil. There's Oddity. There's Exuma. There's Under Paris. There's The Devil's Bath. There's Arcadian. There's Immaculate. There's It's What's Inside. There's New Life. There's It's Out of Darkness. There's Humane. There's Daddy's Head. There's Caddo Lake. There's Sting. There's Night Swim. There's Out Come the Wolves. Watchers. Like you'll know, like Tarot, Milk and Cereal, Delivered, Something in the Water. Like there's Blackout. There's Lovely Deacon, Deep and Dark. There's Cold Meat. There's Double Blind. There's Woman of the Hour. There's just Never Let Go. There's Badland Hunters. There's Don't Move.
So good.
Like guys,
you're just not paying attention. Like you're just not paying attention. I mean, if you want to make that argument, you would say, why aren't there more big budget horror movies? Well, then okay, but not that there's plenty of other.
Well, because it's IP and you need to make money.
I know. Drives me crazy. Yeah, total subtweet of someone. My first pick. I'm gonna go with Reggie and Sam from Ninth Comment.
Oh crap!
I had to. Like anytime they come up in one of our drafts, they go first for me.
They are amazing. This the machine gun thing. Like I don't like this Uzi. It's one of my favorite moments.
One day I'm gonna get you to do the stuff. Like it's also really wild.
Oh heck yeah, I'm down. I would love to do that. Okay, I'm gonna do Madison and Gabriel from Malignant.
That was going to be my number two. You swooped in. You, ooh, so good. Okay,
They're great.
okay.
They're
I'm gonna
yeah.
pick one. No, go ahead. Talk about
Oh
them.
no. It's bonkers, but it's beautiful. So you got to go with Malignant. And listen to
Yeah,
our episode we recorded about it.
yeah. You've done two episodes on that.
Yeah, you did
Uh,
one, right?
I did do one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. So
I've
I'm
done
gonna.
3 episodes of Malignant. Then sorry.
Oh, do you mean you're gonna do 3 episodes on the sequel when it comes out eventually?
Yes.
I'm gonna take Kaylee and Tim Russell from Oculus.
Oh, they're so good.
It's
What a
a
movie.
really good, tight movie. Good pair of siblings. I felt like a little bit I was like watching a board game, someone trying to figure out a board game, trying to min-max a game, but it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that movie.
That movie's bleak, and I dig it. So this one's a little different, but I like Marion Crane and Lila Crane because Lila Crane's like the ultimate ride or die sister.
What are they from?
Well, Psycho.
Oh,
So Marion
yeah.
Crane's killed, and then Lila Crane's like, "Yo, I'm gonna go find out who killed my sister," and she does it.
Get out of here.
Lila Crane's great. Like she's everybody needs a sister like Lila Crane. She's a beast.
All right, I'm gonna take Gretel and Hansel from Gretel and Hansel.
Oh
That's a
yeah,
movie that got panned, but for whatever reason, and it's the same director as Longlegs, I believe. That movie hit me hard. I really, really love that movie.
he's awesome. Oz Perkins is great. That's a good pick. I'm gonna go with OJ and Emerald from Nope because I just like them.
Yeah, I
They're,
love the name Emerald.
their energies are just so polar opposites, but they work so well together.
I'm gonna make someone flip a table with this pick. I'm gonna pick Laurie Strode and Michael Myers.
Oh, so from several of the timelines, then, right?
Yeah, exactly. Not all, but not all of them, but some of them.
So they're from timelines. They're from the final timeline, and then they're from the first timeline, and then they're from the okay. So from the first timeline, they're all wait.
You should explain to everyone that there's multiple timelines in the Halloween franchise
Oh
because
man.
it's just it's the most complicated of the traditional slashers.
Okay. For my other one, I'm gonna do the host because
Yeah, it's really
like the
good.
family is the one saving the kid. So I'm gonna say that one. Like I love the medalist. Like what is it? Namju and then Nam Il. They're just awesome together. So I like those. I like the family. They're great.
I am gonna pick Dewey and Tatum from Scream.
Oh yeah, man, that's just
Yeah,
so brutal.
I know. I know. I love that series so much though, so I have to put him in there.
Does Jill? No, she's a cousin of Nev. Oh wait, the twins are good from those movies. I like
The
the
twins
twins.
are good. I was thinking about that. The twins would be good. I'm sure there's going to be another brother sister or something in the. Well, you could also pick. You could pick Nev, and I don't. Are we going to ruin a 30-year-old movie?
Oh, yeah, Roman.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I love that. That's great. This is a good episode, man. And sorry, I'm terrible at interviews, but I'm really stoked about your book, and I'm really happy for you, man. I'm not surprised. Like I knew you would sell one eventually. Like I was never surprised, but I just
Yeah,
love watching you stick in there and do it because you've been through a lot, man. I think this is great.
yeah. I can say if anyone is out there who's a aspiring author, just keep at it. Get yourself a writing group and keep at it. It's rough, but you'll break through eventually. You just got to keep doing it. That's the hardest part. Is like fun, like someone who is consistent is gonna do better than someone who's super creative but doesn't put anything out there.
When I started writing, I was like, I'm just writing now. That's what I'm doing, and I haven't stopped. So
Mhm.
it's I'm not published, but I've been in a bunch of things, and I think the key is to like just be like, I'm here now, and I'm not going anywhere, and I'm gonna get better. And I don't think the goal you should. I don't think you should. If you're looking into writing, I never set a goal to be famous by a certain date. I never set a goal to have this, that, and the other. I just slowly wanted to get better. And I still have a long journey left to be a writer, to be a better writer. I think people can always be better writers, but that's the one advice I always give my students, David, is like just write. Just accept it, and like don't look to get famous, just look to be a good writer. I don't know if you agree, but
I
that's
mean,
my
you have to get good at something before you can be famous at it. Is
yeah.
generally my assumption. And to be honestly, like, and most people don't like release a book when they're 23. You know, like it
Hmm.
takes forever and ever and ever to put something out that you feel comfortable with.
Hmm.
So you have time. You have all the time. You have more time than you absolutely think you do. Honestly, you have it.
Just write. like,
Hmm.
and I think setting sustainable goals is another very important thing too, because too many people are like, I'm going to write 1,000 words today. Like, no, I'm going to write 1,000 words every day. I'm like, no, you're not.
I did
Oh,
for a year.
oh, did you?
And
Okay,
it was trash. It was trash. Let me be
but
honest with you. Like, I could have used that time more efficiently.
but when you did that, had you been writing before?
I had worked up to it. I didn't just like
Got
start at
it.
1,000 words. It was
Yeah,
like 250 a day and 500. And my real I from someone who writes, I would say you write between 250 and 400 words a day, 6 days a week, and you are golden.
and you know what? Start with 100,
Yeah,
and then start with 100. That's very easy, and then just do that a day. Because I feel like sometimes when you're like, I'm gonna do 1,000 a day, and then you just don't, then you just quit. So
yeah.
start with very sustainable goals and work your way up.
Reward yourself. I open a pack of magic cards every day I write.
Oh, I just wrote one movie review a week for many years because that's all I had time for. But I had to write it like so. If I had to be up at midnight writing it to get it done, but before the next day, I did it. So it's, if you're out there listening, you want to get going with it, and you're going
This
to be
was a
tired
great.
a lot. Just letting you
Yeah.
know.
And you got to have a lot of eat a lot of popcorn and drink a lot of coffee. Um, this was a great podcast. If you haven't seen The Gate, please go out and see it. And if you do pick up my book, I'm eternally grateful.
Buy 2 copies in case you want to read it more than once.
So I should say there's 2 stories in it. My co-author is Ryan T. Jenkins. His story is called Come to Daddy. It's highly associated with the movie Come to Daddy. So if you love that movie, you're gonna love his novelette too.
Oh man, I love Come to Daddy. That movie's
It's great.
hilarious.
I saw it in the theater without knowing anything about it, and I was like, hell yeah.
Well, according to AI on Google, the hosts are known for their lively and humorous discussions about movies. So I think we did that today.
I did too. Yeah. And I want to give everyone just a quick note. We will be back to Insidious.
Yeah. 3. We'll be back. And this will release before Insidious. So does everyone know we have an Insidious podcast coming out? Because I'm going to drop this soon. So everyone can go buy your book.
Yeah. So thanks for having me on, Mark.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
else, embrace the slime.
So for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, for David Cross, of course, this is Movies on the Flicks. We'll slime you next week.